How to lucid dream. A lucid dream is a dream in which you know you are dreaming and you can do whatever you want in that dream. It starts off just like any normal dream. Once you become aware that this world is not real and that you are in fact in a dream, the possibilities become endless. One of the first and most basic steps of learning how to lucid dream is to write down your dreams every night. Whatever you remember, even if it's just a small fragment. This will improve your dream recall. The next one is to do reality checks. Throughout your day, set alarms or reminders to take a second to question your reality. Like right now. Am I in a dream? Let's try to put my finger through my hand. It didn't go through, so I'm pretty sure I'm not dreaming, but there have been times where I did this, and my finger went through, and I realized I was dreaming, and then I had lunch with Adam Sandler. These are just the basic steps, but this app called YoruX has helped many people lucid dream. If you want it, go here, then here, then here to get it. This girl went to the weirdest sleepover ever. When this person was in middle school, she went to a sleepover at her friend's house. It started off pretty normal, but her friend's mom was obsessively taking pictures of them all night.
No, Carlos is the nice one. Kevin was the weird one. I think they're both weird. Girls, look over here.
Well, at one point, they were watching a movie and her friend had fallen asleep. Her friend's mom then comes over with her camera and records her daughter sleeping for 5 minutes. Well, that night, she was sleeping on the floor of her friend's room facing the wall, away from the door. She was having trouble going to bed, when at exactly 3 a.m., she heard the door creak open. Her friend's mom had snuck into the room at 3 in the morning to take pictures of them while they slept. Crazy things kids did in school. Follower submission. I just want to start this video off by saying no squirrels were harmed. Okay, so this kid and his friend wanted to pull a prank at school. So they set up a trap in his backyard to catch a squirrel. They put some corn in there, and sure enough, the next day, there was a squirrel in the trap. They safely ushered the squirrel from the trap to a lunchbox. They took the lunchbox to school, and well, they released the squirrel into the bathroom. They posted the incident on Snapchat, and although they knew this would probably get them caught, they didn't really care. They were pretty much doing it for the clout. Anyway, here's the Snapchat he sent me. Well, after the bathroom incident, the squirrel managed to escape the bathroom and started running down the hallways. That's when they heard a couple screams. They panicked a little bit and they head to class. Well, they were caught and they were incredibly apologetic to school staff. They didn't get in trouble at all. They simply got a phone call home. People's worst fast food experiences. One night, this guy was working the Wendy's drive-thru. A woman orders a spicy chicken sandwich, please. Okay, you said spicy chicken sandwich? Yes, a spicy chicken sandwich, please. Okay, please look at the screen, make sure the order is correct. Yes, it's perfect. She pulls up to the next window, pays, and he says, "All right, here is your spicy chicken sandwich. Have a great night. Thank you so much." When she pulled off, she didn't leave the parking lot. Instead, she parked in a spot, which is a red flag. It usually means a customer is not happy with their order. She then gets out of her car and walks up to the drive-thru window. Keep in mind, this lady is pregnant. She says, "Yeah, hi, you gave me a spicy chicken sandwich and I did not order that. I repeated your order back to you like 5 times. Sir, I'm pregnant. If I would have eaten this spicy sandwich, it would have killed my baby. Are you serious? This man's trying to kill my baby." What? He's trying to kill my baby. They decided to make her a regular chicken sandwich instead. They gave it to her and she went on her way. It was the end of the day and this 3rd grade teacher's class was getting ready to go home. One of her students was arguing with her about the homework due the next day. "Miss, you gave us too much homework." "I think it's a perfect amount of homework. You'll do fine." "No, I won't. I'm not gonna do it." "Oh, you're not, huh?" "No, the homework's stupid. I'm not gonna do it." "How would you like if I called your mom right now and told her that her son is being difficult and telling me he's not gonna do his homework?" "Don't bring my mom into this." "Your mom is probably so fat when she walks the earth shakes." "My mom is dead." "My mom is dead." And then the class just sat there in silence for about 10 minutes while their teacher cried. The next day, there was a sub. The worst first dates ever. This woman was on her first date with somebody she met on Tinder. They were having a nice dinner and things were going pretty fine. Until he asked her this question. "Alright, so I have a question for you." "Okay, what is it?" What would be the worst crime you would commit if you knew you would get away with it? The worst crime, but you would get away with it. I would probably steal a few $1 million from a bank. Oh, okay. Yeah, how about you? I would definitely Jeffrey Dahmer someone. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Why? Dessert hasn't even come yet. Sit down. Yeah, no, I'm gonna leave. What are you doing tonight? Check, please. One day at this one middle school, these two teachers noticed the pockets of this one 6th grader were bulging. So they confronted him. Kyle, come here. Yes? What's in your pockets? Nothing. Nothing. Empty your pockets. In one of his pockets was at least 20 individually wrapped mints. In the other pocket was a wad of cash. What is going on here? I run a business. Okay. You run a what kind of business? Obviously, I sell mints. You know that's very much so against the rules at the school. Principal Johnson could suspend you for this. As they questioned him more, they found out how deep this operation went. This kid had at least 16 employees that sold mints to each grade level, and there were at least 3 lockers scattered around the school that they stored their money in. This kid was a little crime boss, and his underground mint market was booming. They made him put an end to this business, but they promised him they wouldn't snitch. They let him and his employees keep all the money they made up to that point. This middle school science teacher was a very, very sweet woman, and she loved her students. She always made sure the students had the materials they needed for the class. Well, one year she gave every single one of her students a pencil case filled with tons of pencils, pencil sharpeners, markers, and erasers. It was a really nice thing to do. Here's your pencil case. Here's your pencil case. Here's your pencil case. All right, that's everyone. Well, on the day she passed those out, a couple of boys in her class began to play with these pencil cases. Whoop, catch. Hey, hey, Johnny. Be careful, boys, be careful, please. But then something came over these boys and they began throwing these pencil cases at the wall as hard as they could. Every single pencil and every case they threw at the wall was broken in half. I worked really hard on getting these together for you guys. Why would you throw them at the wall? Just read to yourselves for the rest of class. And at the end of the year, she retired. The worst fast food experiences. One day, a woman comes into a restaurant to order a drink. Hi, what can I do for you? Hi, yeah, I want to order a large Coke. Okay, 1 second. But I want the large soda to be in a small cup, please. What? I want a large soda, but in a small cup. I'm confused, that wouldn't work. How hard is this to understand? I want a large soda in a small cup, please. That would just be a small soda then. Large soda, small cup, now. So what he did to prove she was being ridiculous was he put the Coke in a large cup, and he brought an empty cup over to the counter where she was standing, and he poured the large soda into the small cup. Obviously, the small cup filled up very fast, and the rest of the soda spilled all over the counter. This guy went on a first date with somebody he met on Tinder. They were having a great night. No, there's no way. No, I promise you. Yeah, I promise you. No, that's crazy because I'm also obsessed with Shrek. I love him. That is crazy. Yeah, no, I have the biggest crush on Shrek. They got drinks after dinner. If you could do anything in the world, anything at all, what would it be? Anything. I would be a dolphin trainer. A dolphin trainer. Really? Yeah. I love dolphins so much. Well, cheers to dolphin trainers. After drinks, they got ice cream. Yeah, I want 1 scoop of the caramel and 1 scoop of the lavender, please. Bold choice. I'll do the same. When the date was over, he walked her to her front door. All right, here we are. Thank you so much for everything. I had an amazing time tonight. Me too. Yeah, you're such a good guy. I just wish that you were not ugly. Have a good night. Not again, man. Not again. This guy's boss is the worst. The guy who shared the story is an older man, and he worked in a warehouse. Well, his boss made this rule. Employees could only have 20 minutes of bathroom breaks a week. That's 4 minutes a day. Well, this man thought it was ridiculous, so he went to talk to his supervisor, who, keep in mind, was much younger than him. I wanted to talk to you about the bathroom rule. I was wondering if I could have an exception. I can't do that, I'm sorry. You realize I'm an older man, right? It takes me longer to go to the bathroom. I really don't want to talk about this right now. I can't change the rule, so I don't know what to say. I don't want to talk about this right now. Do you want me to write you up? Have a good life. I quit. Fine. Go. About 10 of his coworkers asked him what happened, and they walked out with him. Alrighty, guys, we have 2 hours left. Where is everyone? I think they all quit. Oh my god, I'm screwed. This teacher is bogus. When this kid was in middle school, he had just finished his work for the day and went up to go to the bathroom. Okay. That's when his teacher said, "Excuse me, sit back down. Where are you going?" I don't care. Sit back down. If you want to go somewhere, raise your hand. So the kid sits back down and raises his hand for what feels like a very long time. She was ignoring him. She even began to read a book until finally, "Oh, Kyle, I'm sorry. Yes, what? Yeah, can I go to the bathroom, please?" "Oh, yeah, of course. You don't need to ask me. You can just get up and go. You're a big boy." Classic. This teacher's a savage for this. This high school freshman English teacher was kinda crazy. Whenever students wouldn't be quiet in class, he would straight up cuss them out in front of everybody. And if that didn't work, he had a backup plan. So I told her that, "No, we cannot be friends. I think you're a baddie." And she told me that she thinks I'm ugly. So I think that's not fair. I'm very handsome. "Hey, Kevin, this is the second time I'm asking you to be quiet today. You know what happens now." Oh no. If students didn't listen after being cussed out, he would take the chalkboard eraser and chuck it at them as hard as he could. He didn't do this to inflict pain. He did this because he knew that chalkboard erasers would leave a mark on their clothing. So when the misbehaving students left after class was over, everyone would know who pissed off the English teacher.
"Hey, yo, look at Kevin.
He messed you up, Kevin."
You're still ugly, Kevin."
I told the story of when he was a senior in high school. He didn't have a car, so he took the bus home every single day. Well, he noticed at one of the stops there was a dog in the middle of the road who had obviously passed away. Well, at the stop, a girl got off the bus with her friend. Her friend goes, "Oh my god, Stacy, look, it's a dead puppy." "Oh yeah, that's mine. We got him last weekend, but he was hit by a car today. My dad will just buy me a new one, so it doesn't really matter. Come on, let's go inside." Sounds like that girl is a sociopath. This kid's school was kindergarten through 4th grade. Well, there was a stupid rule where during lunch, kids had to be silent. There was a big table in the front of the lunchroom with 2 cups on it, 1 green cup and 1 red cup. Well, every day that red cup would sit on the table for the majority of lunchtime. Red meant no talking. Here's where the green cup came into play. 5 minutes before lunch was over, they would switch out the cups, remove the red cup, and put the green cup. That meant kids can finally talk, but only for the last 5 minutes of lunch. Do you like anime? Ew, no. Do you like anime? They were only allowed to talk for 5 minutes. That's bogus, in my opinion. Crazy things teachers confiscated from students. This woman used to teach kindergarten through 4th grade, and everyone in the school knew that she loved cats so much. Well, one day it was her birthday, and she was walking down the hallways when this kindergartner came up to her, very excited. "Hey miss, excuse me." "Hey there, Kevin, how are you?" She noticed that his backpack was moving, and there were sounds coming out of it. "I brought you something." He hands her the backpack. She opens it and sees a... Oh my god, it's a cat. It's a live cat. What is going on? Where did you get this? "Enjoy it, miss. Happy birthday." And the kid runs away. Turns out this kid knew how much his teacher loved cats. So that morning, he took his family cat, put it in his backpack, and brought it to school to give it to her as a gift. Rightfully so, that cat was very angry. She called the kid's parents, and they came to take the family cat home. So one middle school student was voted most likely to succeed by all of his peers. Everyone loved him. He was very popular. Well, a week after that, he was on the news.
Good afternoon, we are here with Kyle Mellon, who is being called a hero after helping put out a fire that started on the school bus. Kyle, what do you think of all this?
It's crazy. Yeah, I was just sitting on the bus and I started to smell smoke. The bus stopped and I helped everyone get out and I helped pour water on the fire and here we are. I just had to do the right thing.
Well, it sounds like you did the right thing, Kyle, and we all thank you. I have been Tracy Stevenson here at Channel 2 News.
He was a hero. But that changed pretty quickly. The school was able to recover the security footage on the school bus, and what they saw wasn't what they expected.
Good evening. We have an update on the school bus fire. Apparently, the fire was started by Kyle Mellon, the kid that we called a hero. I just wanted to update you and tell you that he is no longer a hero.
One day, this preschool teacher saw a 4-year-old playing with something shiny. Johnny, what is that? It's nothing. Let me see that. It was a diamond ring. Where did you get this? It was on Mommy's dresser. And why did you take it? Because I want to give it to Stacy. I'm in love with her. You can't be giving things like that away. I'm gonna keep it, and I'm gonna give it to your mom when she picks you up, okay? 2 days later, that teacher sees Stacy playing with something weird. Stacy, what are you playing with? Let me see it. Where did you get these? Johnny gave it to me. It was the keys to a Ford truck and a bottle of cologne. Apparently, this kid thought since he couldn't give her the diamond ring, he would just take his dad's car keys and cologne and give it to her instead. You won't believe what happened at this high school. The person that shared this story said that when he was a sophomore in high school, there was this weird girl. She was about 15. It was the beginning of the year, and nobody had any classes with her. They only ever saw her at lunch, and like I said, she was kind of weird. So what'd you do for Christmas? It's September. She was innocent, but it was just weird stuff like that. People didn't really get her vibe. And this went on for a few weeks. Until one day during lunch, a group of hospital officials entered the school, found this girl, and took her with them. Turns out this girl wasn't 15 years old. She was just a very tiny 30-year-old woman who had escaped from a mental hospital and found her way to the local high school. At this kid's middle school, there was a rule that nobody was allowed to chew gum ever. Well, one day, this kid was chewing gum. His teacher saw this and said, "Kyle, spit it out. You know the rule. Thank you. See me after class." After class? You wanted to see me? You need to write me a 2,000-word paper on the history of pizza. That's your punishment. Give it to me on Monday. He spent the entire weekend writing this paper. When he got back to school on Monday, that teacher was out sick, so there was a substitute. Tuesday, the same thing. On Wednesday, when that teacher finally returned, "Here's the paper you wanted me to write." "Kyle, what paper?" "The paper." "What paper, Kyle?" "The pizza paper." "The pizza paper?" "The pizza paper!" "Oh, throw that in the garbage. I don't really want to read it." This high school had the dumbest school rule ever where students had to ask before taking a sip of anything. At lunchtime, kids were fine, but if you were in class and you wanted to have a sip of water, you had to ask the teacher, "May I have a sip of my water, please?" "Okay, thank you." Well, one kid that attended this high school told this story. It was getting close to summer, and he was sitting in class. The AC wasn't working very well at all, and he was thirsty. "Steven, did you ask me?" "Huh? Oh my god, no, I forgot, but I'm so sorry. It's just so hot in here, miss, and I'm like dehydrated." "I don't care, you didn't ask me." "I know, I'm sorry. Give me your water bottle and head to the principal's office right now." "Okay, here." What the frick? He went to the principal's office and the principal gave him a detention. Some parents heard about the situation and they got super mad. The school changed the rule shortly after. In 2010, a 12-year-old girl was sitting in class one day, doodling on her desk. Squeepy-doop-ba-doo, squeepy-doop-ba-dee. The teacher saw this and secretly called 911. The police showed up, put her in handcuffs, and marched her out of school. "I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything."
Why is she getting arrested? I heard she killed a squirrel.
What did she doodle on her desk, you asked? She wrote, "I love my friends, Abby and Faith." Why would they arrest her for that? One day at school, this kid was just walking down the hallway at a regular pace. "Sometimes I feel like everybody is a sexy baby." When out of nowhere, another kid slams in behind him because he was running down the hallway. Ah, what the heck? Dude, watch where you're going. Are you okay? "Kyle." "What?" "To the principal's office right now." Why do you sound like a gremlin when you're angry? "Excuse me?" "See, right there. To the principal's office right now."
"Oh, he hurt me, miss. He hurt me."
"But I didn't do anything. He ran into me." "No, you got in his way. This is not fair. You know, your mother was in my class when I was in school, and she was a just like you." I hope you die alone. I'll walk myself to the principal's office. Oh, get up, you're fine. The dumbest ways people made money. This woman needed some extra money, so she went on Craigslist. She saw an ad that said, "Allow me to film you shaving your head. The pay, $600. I'm definitely interested. She then met up with this dude in a parking lot somewhere, and he filmed her shaving her head. And she made $600. Up next, this kid and his friend were 12 years old. They were walking to 7-Eleven when a car comes out of nowhere and hits his friend. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, are you okay? This kid's friend wasn't hurt at all. He wasn't even hit that hard, but this guy was tweaking. Don't call the cops, okay? What do you want? Anything. 20 bucks? 20 bucks each. Okay, fine, yeah, here. 20 and 20, okay, we good? Honestly, they should have asked for way more. When this kid was 10 years old, he lived next to this woman who had a pet parrot. This woman worked all the time, and the parrot was alone most of the day. Well, this lady was worried that her parrot was lonely and depressed, so she paid this 10-year-old kid 25 bucks every day after school to go into her house and read her parrot a story. And then the princess poisoned all of the elves in the city until they all died. I bet you like that story. This petty revenge is chef's kiss. The person that shared this story said that one night she was driving home after a long, hard day at work, and she decided to stop at her favorite cookie store. It was right before closing, but she wanted to get in there really fast and take a cookie home for her and her husband.
Hi, yes, I know you're closing soon, but I just want to get 2 cookies.
Well, as she was walking up to the counter to place her order, a man rushes into the store, pushes her out of the way, and cuts her in line. Yeah, excuse me.
What?
Yeah, hi, I wanna... sorry, bro, she was definitely here before you. Well, she was still kind of mad about the situation, so when she went to place her order...
Thank you so much. I'll take every single cookie you have in the store.
You want our entire stock?
Yes.
What? Sorry, bro, we actually just ran out. It's crazy. Here are your cookies. Thank you. Q. Alright, the slap didn't happen, but everything else was true. Still, that guy sucks. Good for her. You're not gonna believe this. This entitled man left a review on a mattress store. Here's what happened. So one day he was at a mattress store with his wife and they bought a mattress. Yeah, so I think we want, that one. Yeah, that one's perfect. Alright, sounds good. I'll get this all settled for you. Well, fast forward 2 years and this guy and his wife were moving to a different town. Well, the mattress wouldn't fit into the minivan. So this is what he did. He called the mattress store that he bought it from. Hi, yeah, I'm wondering if you could help me move a mattress. Move a mattress? What do you mean? I want one of the workers to come to my house and move my mattress to my new house, please. We don't do that. Why didn't you just have us deliver it to your new house? Because I bought the mattress 2 years ago. Good luck. I'll pay you.
They sold us a nice bed, but 2 years later when we were moving, they refused to help us move the bed, even after we offered to pay for it. So in our opinion, all they do is sell beds. Do not expect anything else after that.
Yeah, no. It's a mattress store, not a moving company. Craziest things people did in college. When this guy was in college, one day, for some reason, he bought 35 heads of lettuce, and he began hiding them all around campus. Except there was one head of lettuce that was different from the rest. He hollowed this head of lettuce out and put a pickle inside of it, really snug. And he posted flyers all around campus. The flyers said, "Have you seen me?" And there was a picture of a head of lettuce on it. And below that picture it said, "If you find the lettuce that holds the pickle, I will give you $500. And he had his phone number on there. Well, students began going crazy. Everyone was hunting down these heads of lettuce, finding them all over campus. One of the school deans apparently found a head of lettuce in his desk drawer.
Damn.
The lettuce that held the pickle was actually found by a student that had just gotten robbed a couple weeks prior. He called the number on the flyer, brought him the pickle lettuce, and was paid his $500. Super strange Craigslist prank. One day, the student and his friend posted an ad on Craigslist as a joke. The ad said, "Looking for a man to be filmed eating a sandwich." Is that good? Bro, that's perfect. Post it. The funny thing is, they got 12 responses on that ad. Some people wanted to be filmed eating a sandwich so bad, they even sent them their resumes. Well, there was one guy who applied. He was rather nerdy looking. On the day of the shoot, this guy shows up. Now, eat the sandwich. But, like, act excited. Be enthusiastic, okay? Be more excited about this. Yeah! Yeah, nice. Perfect. I love the sandwich. Perfect. Do we get it? Now pretend to be a squirrel eating it. Okay. Alright, we got it. Nice job, man. And he left. They never saw him again. Crazy things kids did in school. This one middle school student was voted most likely to succeed by all of his peers. Everyone loved him. He was very popular. Well, a week after that, he was on the news.
Good afternoon, we are here with Kyle Mellon, who is being called a hero after helping put out a fire that started on the school bus. Kyle, what do you think of all this?
It's crazy. Yeah, I was just sitting on the bus and I started to smell smoke. The bus stopped and I helped everyone get out and I helped pour water on the fire and here we are. I just had to do the right thing.
Well, it sounds like you did the right thing, Kyle, and we all thank you. I have been Tracy Stevenson here at Channel 2 News.
He was a hero. But that changed pretty quickly. The school was able to recover the security footage on the school bus, and what they saw wasn't what they expected.
Good evening. We have an update on the school bus fire. Apparently, the fire was started by Kyle Mellon, the kid that we called a hero. I just wanted to update you and tell you that he is no longer a hero.
Black markets kids ran in their schools, a follower submission. When he was in middle school, there were tons of kids that walked home every single day. Well, this kid had a brilliant idea. He gathered a bunch of bikes, skateboards, and scooters that were in his garage. It was 5 bikes, 5 skateboards, and 5 scooters. He then brought them to school and stored them in this old broken down shed that nobody used. He was going to rent these out to students who had to walk home. Things started off slow at first, but eventually business began booming. He charged kids $20 to rent out a bike, $15 to rent out a scooter, and $10 to rent out a skateboard. At the end of the school day, once customers paid, they were able to take this equipment home with them, as long as they brought it back the next morning. And if somebody didn't bring it back, this guy had bodyguards that worked for him. Eventually, this kid was caught and suspended. But in total, his rental service made him over $600. This guy got awesome payback. One day, his dog was playing in the backyard. And when he called his dog back inside, the dog didn't come. Rufus? He noticed his backyard gate was open, so his dog must have gotten out and ran away somewhere. He immediately made a bunch of missing dog posters with his phone number on it and placed them around the town. After a few hours, his phone rang. Hello? Your dog's lost, loser. He was so angry. Who would do that? Eventually, somebody did call. His dog was found and it was returned safely. But he was still super mad at that dude who pulled the prank. So what he did was he took his phone number and signed it up for a bunch of random stuff. He did it so many times that there was no way that that dude's phone wasn't blowing up 24/7. Hello? Hey man, what you do is not cool at all. I'm getting so many phone calls. I'm losing my mind. Why did you do this to me? That's hilarious. Hey man. Q. Black markets kids ran in their schools, a follower submission. This kid is in middle school, and his dad owns a shawarma restaurant. Well, one day this kid had an idea. He started helping his dad close the restaurant every single night, and he started taking home the leftover shawarma, falafel, juice boxes, and a ton of other things. He would then bring those things to school the next day and sell them to students. There's a microwave in the lunchroom, so he would keep the products cold, and then the kids who bought them could warm them up so they taste fresh. To this day, he still hasn't been caught. Business is booming. So far, he's made $300, and he has no plans to stop. What I would do if I met Mr. Beast. Hey, for $500, would you? Nice mustache. Hey, you too. Can I touch it? Yeah. Wait, hold on. Okay. It's nice. Can I pet your mustache? Absolutely. It's nice. Thank you. Have an amazing day. Hey, you too, man. You too. This third date ended quick. This guy was on a third date with this girl he met on Tinder. She was at his apartment and they were just hanging out. As they were talking on his couch, she said, I have to use the bathroom really fast, okay? Oh yeah, for sure. In the hallway, first door on your right. Okay, I'll be back soon. Well, she was in there for a decent amount of time. He assumed she was probably pooping. I'm back. So where were we? We were talking about your childhood in Ohio, but I have to use the bathroom too. I'll be right back. So he goes in the bathroom, but when he gets in there, he notices something sus. It was a decent-sized poop that she obviously didn't flush. But the worst part is, there was no toilet paper in the toilet. What the heck?
He checked the garbage can because who knows, there was no toilet paper in the garbage can as well. Oh. His date had pooped in his bathroom, didn't flush, and obviously didn't wipe after going. Yeah, you gotta go. And he never saw her again. This kid and his friend ran the most insane businesses in high school. He lived pretty close to shops, so every day he would buy a bunch of items. And him and his friend made a website where students at their school could go on and order items from them. The website had descriptions and prices on there as well. It was very convenient. Then, to get paid and make profit, he charged a $7.50 delivery fee. They also had a selection of energy drinks that they stored in certain lockers around the school that were available for students' immediate pickup. Another thing they did was that they sold teachers login information. Now, the prices for these were much higher. Kids would buy them to change grades and do stuff like that. They also had the principal's login. They actually sold that one for over $600. These geniuses ran these businesses for over 4 years, and they made about $300,000. That's absolutely insane. New black market vid on my page. Check it out right now. A Christian boarding school black market. This girl went to an extremely conservative Christian boarding school. Jeans, shorts, candy, cell phones, TVs, gaming systems, movies, and clothes that had brand names were all banned. Well, naturally, a couple students started a black market. Keep in mind, everybody at this school was very wealthy. Most of them had parents who were doctors. They had to be incredibly careful, otherwise they could get expelled. But business was absolutely booming. And because they had tons of money, they didn't care how much they spent on it. One kid bought a box of Altoids for $15. Eventually, the school caught on because tons of people had banned items in their rooms. They never found out who did it because none of the customers snitched. The kids that ran this business made thousands. New black market vid on my page. Check it out right now. It was the end of the day and this 3rd grade teacher's class was getting ready to go home. One of her students was arguing with her about the homework due the next day. Miss, you gave us too much homework. I think it's a perfect amount of homework. You'll do fine. No, I won't. I'm not gonna do it. Oh, you're not, huh? No, the homework's stupid. I'm not gonna do it. How would you like if I called your mom right now and told her that her son is being difficult and telling me he's not gonna do his homework? Don't bring my mom into this. Your mom is probably so fat when she walks, the earth shakes. My mom's dead. My mom is dead. And then the class just sat there in silence for about 10 minutes while their teacher cried. The next day, there was a sub. The worst fast food experiences. One day, a woman comes into a restaurant to order a drink. Hi, what can I do for you? Hi, yeah, I want to order a large Coke. Okay, 1 second. But I want the large soda to be in a small cup, please. What? I want a large soda, but in a small cup. I'm confused. That wouldn't work. How hard is this to understand? I want a large soda in a small cup, please. That would just be a small soda then. Large soda, small cup. Now. So what he did to prove she was being ridiculous was he put the Coke in a large cup, and he brought an empty cup over to the counter where she was standing, and he poured the large soda into the small cup. Obviously, the small cup filled up very fast, and the rest of the soda spilled all over the counter.
আমি চাইনি তোমার মন খারাপ হোক।
এইটা এখন আমাকে বিশ্বাস করতে হবে। তোমার ভাইয়ের যে একটা বন্ধু আছে না, অয়ন ভাই, উনি অনেক চালাক আছে, অনেক স্মার্ট। এই আপু 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 শুনো শুনো শুনো, তুমি রাগ করলা?
তুমি যদি একটু পড়ো।
আপনাকে ঈদের শুভেচ্ছা।
ধন্যবাদ।
তোপো দাঁড়া।
মেয়েটা দেখছিস?
কোন মেয়েটা?
তোদের বাসার দোতলায় আসছে।
মা, মোম দিয়ে যাও না। আরে আসতেছি রে বাবা। আপনার গান শুনে ছাদে আসলাম। আপনি গিটার বাজান বল।
কি দিল এটা? 100 টাকা? আমি তো চাইছিলাম।
তোর মন খারাপ এটা তুই কি আসার আগেই জানতুই না আসার পর জানছস?
সাদা ওড়না, কপালে ছোট্ট একটা টিপ, রোদের আলো।
এদিকে আয়, তুই আয়। আরে
আজ বেলাতে তোমার সুরে সুরে।
এই বিকেলে মাঠে আসবি তো? ফয়সাল আসছিল, ঈদের পরে কক্সবাজার যাওয়ার প্ল্যান করতেছে।
তুমি কিন্তু আমার একটা ভিডিও কলও করো না। সোনিয়া, অ্যাঞ্জেল সোনিয়া।
তুমি কি শুরু করছো?
আরে আমি করলামটা কি, আমি যেখানে বয়ে আছি।
এই আমার ফোন দাও, দাও কইতাছি।
ছাড়ুম না।
কি দাও? ছাড়ো কইতাছি, আমার ফোন দিব না আমি।
এইটা আমগো খানদানি রীতি, তুই বুঝছ না?
আব্বা গতকালকে রাত্রে বেলা এমন সেটিং দিছি। আব্বা ফোন দিয়ে কি করেন আপনি?
এই কথা কই, গান শুনি, এই আর কি।
বাস এই দুইটা কামের জন্য।
হায় হায় করছে কি আমার খানদানির ইজ্জতের ফালুদা খেয়ালাইছে।
তোবা তোবা, কোস কি এত বড় বদ জামাই।
হারামজাদা আমার মা।
তুমি বাসে আসার পর থেকে আমাকে বাসে শান্তি সব চলে লাগেছে।
আয় হায় খাইছে করছোটা কি তুমি?
তুমি একটা ভিডিও কল করে পাঠাও প্লিজ, প্লিজ। কবে আমগো দেখা
কোচিনটা কি এটা আব্বার লগে এমন চিপা মাইটা দিয়েছেন? কেমন খানদান বউ? তারপর তো ভয় কাঁচে মুচু খায়া গেছে গা, তারপর আবার দুর্নাম করতে হইব। এই তোর কি তোর দামি ফোন?
আইসা বাপ জান, রাইতে ঠিকঠাক মতো ঘুমাইছে তো নাকি বাসায় গিয়া আব্বাজান রে কইবেন?
কি করছো যেটা তুই? বাজার রে বাজার যাও চইছে আজকাই করছে।
এই খবরদার ভদ্র মহিলা, আমার ফোন দাও, নইলে কিন্তু আজকে খুন খারাপ।
এটা রাখ, এই জিলাপি কিনা রইছে তোর।
আমি জিলাপি খাই না।
সপ্তে বাসর রাইতে রাজা বাদশা সাইজা বাসর ঘরে আমদাইছে।
এরকম পোশাক পিন্দে ঘরে ঢুয়ে আমার বাবায় পড়ছে, তার বাবায় পড়ছে, তার বাবার বাবায় পড়ছে।
আসলে তো শাহজাহান।
হ, আমি আমার নাম কইবার আগে তো তুমি টান দিয়ে আমার গোফটা ছিঁড়ে ফেলাই, এটা বাইর করে দাও, কোনো সমস্যা নেই কা।
হায় হায় তুই এডি খুলে আলাইছস কে? কি করলি এটা তুই?
আচ্ছা যা হবার হয়েছে বুঝছো, সারাদিন যে ধকলটা গেছে গা, নিচে ঘুমা।
আজ নামনের বাসুর ভাই আপনি
আপনার ঘরে
তুমি তো আমার পিলা চমকাই দিচ্ছ বাবা।
কি যে কন্যা আব্বা, মাত্র তো আসমানের চাঁদ লাগা।
কিন্তু তুমি তো বিয়ার পর দিনই আইয়া হাজির, তো রসনটা একটু চেঞ্জ হয়েছে আর কি।
আব্বাই তো ও মা গো মা, আব্বাই তো দেখি হেভি পাঙ্খ।
নিশ্চয়ই কোনো ভেজাল আছে, ওই দেখি কার লগে ফিল্ডিং মারতে।
মানে এমন বিলা হবি যাতে সারা জিন্দগি মনে রাখে। তাইলে হইব কি রান্না করণের আগে তার রান্না জান।
জি আম্মা জান, আপনি কিছু খানদানি রিওয়াজ আমি মানবার পারুম না। আপনার পোলায়
মনে করেন যে ভুল করে একটা মিস্টেক হয়ে গেছে গা, এখন এটা আমাদের তলোয়ার দিয়ে দেখেন, তলোয়ার দিয়ে সবারই যদি